Salve! And E1 is now done. And here is our favourite moments. But with me today, as always, Matt and Andrea. This is quite snug, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
This is very snug.
You can like move back a bit so it's less snug.
Love you, Sammy.
This is weird. Anyway, so, as I said, E1's done and we are still all alive.
Yeah.
Many great things happened. But let's share with these fine viewers some of our favourite moments from E1. Top moments. Matt?
I think you should go first. Sam.
Me?
Yeah. As the resident pit fighter extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. Well,
how did your fight go?
Well, first one with Crunk went amazing. Although I did get Hurricanra'd off the pit, what was interesting. If you don't know what Hurricanrana is, go watch something. You'll find out what that is.
Just anything, something.
Just yes.
Doesn't matter.
Search something and you will find out what a Hurricanrana is. Well, obviously I won. I then went against Vio, and then because I beat Vio, I got that's behind me. That's right.
It's like you made a belt.
It's like I'm.
Sammy, bank yourself off.
Do you want it over your shoulder, Sammy?
Huh? Should I put it over my shoulder? All right, I'll put it over my shoulder. Just so I can feel.
Hang on, other way, so you can have the nice bit of.
Oh, for videos. So, pretty much the idea when we built this was to hang stuff off it. So after beating Vio, his piece that he wanted to put on it was part of his wraps. So that will now stay on there for as long as this is around. I think it's good.
Yeah, the idea is the belt will become an item of worth for everyone that won it in its long existence.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to sit here like this forever.
No? Why not?
No. It's a bit difficult, mate.
Is it a bit... Are you sort of weighed down by your
responsibilities? Yeah, it's true, I am. I'm proud of it, but it weighs me down heavily. But yeah, so I have now become the York Undisputed Champion.
Custodian of the York belt.
Custodian of the York belt.
We need to give it a cool name.
We do, but we'll figure that out next time. But yeah, that was one of my favourite moments. So Matt, go on.
So one of my favourite moments, while we're talking about it, is when I presented you with that belt. So obviously we made it, and it wasn't. Initially, it was going to be a surprise, and we were never going to do the videos show making it until after the event. Yeah. But Sammy decided that we should put them up as we did, and you've already seen it. But the actual finished belt was a surprise. Yeah. And you never alluded that it was going to come out this event.
No,
I think a lot of people thought it would be today too. Like it would come out the night of Worth. Yeah. But because I don't know if you decided that this was going to be like. I don't know if you decided that Scar's tournament was also going to be like the Undisputed Champion tournament as well.
I think it worked out.
It did. It worked out really well.
Everything kind of lined up for it to actually work. But
I always knew I was going to present the belt because, of course, like Fowl made it in character, and I was going to do a long spiel about what the belt was made from and like my involvement in it. And I realised actually, no, and then made up this whole really cool speech on the spot. And,
it was. I was so tired. I was being propped up. It's been propped up by someone because I was like, I can't stand anymore. I've just been thrown around and had my head smashed off a drum.
And I can't remember what I said. I think it was cool.
I'm
sure it was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But it ended up being, you, the Orc champion, is now carrying around the pit.
Yeah.
You've got that part of our culture attached to you, and you have to take it everywhere, and it's now your responsibility to look after it. And the idea that everyone who's a part of its existence gets a bit of them put on it.
Yeah, I just think it was amazing. RP wise, like, it was just crazy. Like, being there afterwards, like, I knew you was going to do something, but at no point did you ever tell me, go running into it with what exactly you were going to say. So when it happened, it was so organic for me. and I was just like, oh, that gets you a little bit.
I'm really glad that Nelly asked if Theo could give you the belt.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
It made the whole sort of story arc come to fruition. It was like, actually, this isn't just a belt Fowler's made now. This becomes what the title is always supposed to be, and Nelly has been a really important part of it.
Yeah, I think he was
not until now, but
but I mean, he was champion for like 5 years. Yeah, for a very, very long time. So it was nice.
I think it was a really cool end to that part of his story.
Yeah,
and a really cool start to that bit of your story.
Crazy. It was emotional. It was quite emotional.
And then, you know, when someone else wins it, we'll do the same thing again.
No, I'm keeping hold of it forever, mate.
Forever?
I'm keeping hold of it forever. Okay. It's my belt.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pay me for making it yet?
No. Anyway, moving on.
Andrew, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Wow. You're really mean because you've only limited us to 3.
Okay.
No, I genuinely don't know where to even start. I had so many cool things that happened.
I think you need to start with either that opening of the gate.
Me, apparently.
I think you need to talk about either the gate or the dress.
Which one will you choose?
Oh, you see, I hadn't even considered the dress because it's kind of been mostly like talked about today over Facebook. But like,
oh, that doesn't count then. I say go with the gate first because the gate's really cool. And
the gate opening was so good. Like I'm so happy that Ed asked me to do it.
So what happened?
I chopped Aragorn's hand off in front of everyone.
Okay.
It was so good.
And why?
Because Grud asked Raw to maim him, and so that we could do some experimental magic.
Okay.
He wanted to open the gate, like showing like sacrifice because it was winter.
Yeah.
And sacrifice, and you know all that ties into the winter realm of Empire.
Yeah.
He wanted to sort of sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
To open the gate for the Imperial Orcs.
Right.
Right. So then, you know, Rod cut his hand off, not his head off, and Grud is now mad at Raw for not killing him in front of the Empire.
Is that because you're blind?
I was aiming higher up.
Was you aiming higher up? It's just like, oh, sorry, I missed. Oh.
I was Raw was aiming for here and hit here. Okay. So, you know, but she was never going to kill him.
Possibly.
But, you know, the ancestors were strong in this event.
Right, I think second one for me was most probably have to be one of the most weirdest experiences I've had at LARP. And that would have to be, so me and one of the Stormcrows, Cal, were sitting on the nation box. We were just chatting because we had nothing to do. And suddenly we see like a load of torches, like as in, you know, flame ones. So proper torches, like going up. And we're like, ooh, like what's this? So we were just like, all right, let's go and have a look just out of curiosity. And as we walked down through Anvil, we started to notice there was more and more and more. And we're like, oh my God, what is going on? It's crazy. And then we got there and it was the highborn doing their respects to the dead, where they're all there. They've got all of them flaming torches, everything like that. And they're all speaking the names that they've lost. And we kind of got there at the beginning. Now we stood back because we didn't want to be disrespectful or anything like that. And then out of nowhere, the guy that's leading it's just like, no, come in. So we walk over because we don't want to be rude, and I'm getting really nervous. Like actually me getting nervous because I'm like, this is very weird and I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to hold back because when I get nervous I laugh. So I was trying to hold back the laughter, and then everyone's speaking the names that they've lost, and then someone mentions Scar. And I was like, that's really nice. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, one of them gives us a torch. And it's like, walk with us. So we're like, yes, okay. So we then end up with the whole of Highborn walking through Anvil. And we're just like, everyone's just staring at us like, what are you doing there? So we get back, like we're walking with them, and then we get to the Orc camp. So we kind of stop there, and we were at the front. So we stand at the corner and we're holding the flame up, and as they're coming past, they're all nodding and that. And like we didn't realise how many people there were. So they've started to go past, and then there's a bit of a gap, and we're like, oh, okay, fine. And then suddenly more come along. And this happens for about 5 minutes, and we're just like, how many of there are there? And it just, and then as soon as they were done, we both look at each other and we just both break out laughing. Because it was such a surreal moment, like such a weird moment to kind of have. And then, yeah, me and Cal both said afterwards, we're diplomats now.
Do you know who it was who handed you the torch?
No idea.
Can you describe their kit?
It was really dark. I genuinely couldn't tell you. But it was such a weird... But it was nice as well, because I got to experience like a different culture outside of the Orcs. And it was really, really cool. Like looking back at it, but at the time I was like, this is crazy, because we ended up going into like a part of the field where there was no one else, and it was kind of like, right, we're walking with a load of people that may not like orcs, and they've all got flaming torches. All this has gone wrong, but no, it was good. I really enjoyed it. So that's my second one. Matthew, if you like to stop playing on your phone,
I'm just writing down my cool things.
Are you writing down your cool things? I'd rather you tell the audience
the
cool things.
I just remembered another one.
I'll have some cheese. I have a baby bell.
No,
you can sit. You don't get one until you say your second bit.
Playing your friend, you get no cheese.
No cheese.
No cheese until the end.
Go
on. I went to my very first Eternal audience.
Ooh.
So I have no idea what that means.
So I've never been in the encounter tent before.
Okay.
And I've never really gone into conclave, but you just chuck that on the floor.
I did chuck the wrapper on the floor. I can't get up, can I? Go on.
Littering.
Anyway, carry on.
See you next time.
So, with my title comes some interesting stuff. And
great power comes great responsibility.
Well, yeah, pretty much that. And I had a really interesting chat with the Archmage of Night on Friday or Saturday, before 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay.
And it boiled down to they would like me to come along with them to meet Lashnar.
And who is Lashnar?
I had no idea who Lashnar was. Still don't really know who they are. And I think they're... So my perception of that Eternal is probably completely wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it here because I don't want to... Like, if people don't know, I don't want to
No
say.
spoilers.
But... So I was just told, oh yeah, they look like sort of like bird people. They're like a bit sort of avian. And they're very much into like communication and not violence and like settling your grievances and whatnot through talking. So they're very much like a diplomacy Eternal.
Yeah, are they
That's what it boils down to.
Are they actually bird like people, or are they like the guys that wear the crow masks and the?
Oh no, so they're Heralds of Sorin.
Oh, okay.
The really creepy ones.
They are quite creepy.
So no, they were. So Dave Young was one of them.
Oh, Dave.
And like I got to roleplay with him properly for the first time in ages. But they were just a couple of people in like ridiculously coloured face paint, and some of them had some beaks, and yeah, they just looked like parrots. But they were very cool, and it was such a strange experience because obviously you have to walk out the back of the Hall of Worlds, and then you have to walk around a bit, and it's a little bit. We're around the back, so obviously you're not timed in round then, so you sort of ignore it.
Okay.
But then you get into the tent, and it's like I'm actually in like this weird sort of like go-between pocket universe.
Okay, I genuinely thought you was about to go, I'm actually in a tent.
No, well, that's the thing. So
I'm actually in a tent.
So you get in this tent, and because it was the realm of night, I thought, oh, it's going to be really dark. It's going to be like really dark and dank.
It's going to put you in a dark tent.
They're just like, they'll black out the walls and you won't be able to see anything. And they're like, oh no, the night worm really likes light.
Okay.
Cool. And
we went into this sort of, it was like a boudoir. It was like this sort of...
Matt, I don't think this is Empire anymore. I think
Did you and Rafnar have another little trip outside the Empire?
No.
Oh. It's got a little bit weird now, isn't it, really?
But as we went into this like really interesting sort of comfortable... like...
I think that's just completely ruined it for me. So you saying it being a dark boudoir.
We went into this like interesting tent.
Oh, it's an interesting tent.
And had some really interesting conversations.
Yep.
And I was able to achieve some things that I thought I'd have to do otherwise in a really mundane way.
Yeah.
So the things we were able to talk about, I thought I would have to do either through just sending letters.
Yeah.
Or they'd sort of be things that you'd debate, but then they'd really be a dead end because there's not a way to achieve it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it made me realise, if you work, I don't know, if you try and find connections for things in places you wouldn't expect, then you can sort of, it's going to sound really cryptic, but you can like add things together and then you make stuff happen in completely obscure ways.
Okay.
That you wouldn't. I'm trying to be vague.
You are trying to be
really
vague.
Not helpful.
I think you should have just stayed with. You went into a dark boudoir. That was Matt's second one. Andrea.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Can I have some cheese, please?
Okay, but just this once. And
Just
don't
this
play
once.
with your phone again.
I could tick that one off my list now.
It's true. Got it.
This is so hard. It's so hard to pick your favourite moments. Like, I just had so many good ones. I don't want to talk about the Looking Glass. Well, I could talk about the Looking Glass, because it is quite cool, but it's kind of like...
We'll talk about, like, I think the point that you're trying to get across is that we have a celebrity now here.
Yes. We kind of do have a celebrity in the room.
It's true.
Which one?
I mean, I'm you know.
Not you, obviously.
Whoa.
Your last season.
Your last season. I'm this season. I'm the pit fighting champion.
Sammy, have you ever been Swoon of the Season?
Actually, I've never been Swoon of the Season. Who in this room has been Swoon of the Season? Show your hand out. Oh, it's you.
It's me!
So what is Swoon of the Season then, for everyone who doesn't know?
So there's an in-character publication called The Looking Glass, which is like a fashion magazine, and it's really cool. There's 3 ladies that write it, and they are so cool. They're in the league, and their kit is incredible, and they are lovely people. Oh my gosh. So I met them at Wassail, the Kingstoke one that you didn't go to.
I was busy.
And they like looked at my kit, and I'd only just started making myself some more kit.
Yeah.
And like I'd sorted out my bonnet a little bit before then, and I was really impressed and happy with my kit. And then they saw it, and they were like, "We want you to be Swoon of the Season," and interviewed me. And I was just like, "Oh my days!" And I was a little bit drunk when they did the interview. It was really good, and I kind of thought, "Will they? Won't they?" We saw them again at Sarvos.
Yes, we did. They were guests at Match Made in Sarvos.
I was on. This is awful. I've forgotten her in character name. She's got scars on. I think her OC name is Miranda. She's really nice, and she spoke to me after then. She was just like, "I need, what photo should I, what have you got any pictures that I can draw that you're happy with me using?"
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Yeah, just use any of them. Fuck it."
Language.
Sorry. Language, I think. You can cut that out or something, can't you?
No.
Yeah. Oh dear. I can cut all that bit out though. Anyway, Miranda asked me about, can I use a photo? And I was like, yeah, pick anyone you like. But I kind of wasn't really sure because we had this little chat out of character, and I tried to get to talk to her in character, but she was always busy having other conversations, and I was like, oh, maybe they won't put me in.
Yeah.
And then I heard from about 5 different people, some of which I hadn't ever met before, that I was Swoon of the Season, and I was like, oh my god, they actually put me in. And I went looking for them, and I thought that the Looking Glass tent was outside, I thought it was near the Imperial offices. I don't know why I thought it was there, but I thought it was there.
Yeah.
And I looked for it about 5 times over the event. I had a little stroll around, going, I just don't know where it is. I even had, I made a new friend, and I had them try and find it with me.
Yeah.
And when we did actually find it, it was nowhere near the Imperial offices. It was in League, and they weren't in, right?
Yeah.
So I went to show them stuff, and anyway, I found out on the Saturday when I saw them at another thing that is probably going to wind up being my last allowed designated thing, that all of the copies had sold out already, and I was really sad. I haven't seen my own Swoon of the Season.
I have.
Oh!
I have. Do you know what?
I've been told about it.
It was, so I'd gone down to just grab some lunch in Moorish, and me and Martin, we were just both standing in the queue, and then I look over at this person sitting at a table reading a book, and there was you, and I was like, wait, what? What's that? And then Martin's like, wait, what? Hold on a minute. So we go over, we asked, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's this, and he's just like, oh, that's our warlord, and I was just like, oh, that's really nice.
It was so nice. It was, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of it. I legit have no idea what it looks like, what they've written about me. I've had it described to me, and the 2 spare seconds that I actually saw Mike Vaco, he was telling me about it, and I was just like, oh, they actually did it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, so Lupo, who's one of my friends in Dawn, played by Danny, had said that he'd grabbed a copy for Bull. So we may actually still be able to get a copy, I don't know.
I'm fingers crossed, because I've spoken to them about it.
Yeah.
In character.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping
we might be able to get
a cheeky
copy.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of that. But leading on from that, I broached the subject with them in character.
Yeah.
About designing Raw a new dress, because I went to Dash Shop.
Dash Shop.
It's a very good place there. I went to Dash Shop, and just on the off chance that they might have something cool.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd had this idea about. I think I spoke about it in a different video. I had an idea about getting some material.
Yeah.
To make.
That just went on the floor. Never mind.
I thought about getting some material for Raw to have stolen on the Dub Trade raid.
Yeah.
And they actually had some. So I got some material, and it's over here. I got these. I found a grey tartan with red in it, and a grey wool with green in it, and I'm gonna get them to design me a dress.
Okay, is that because you want to be Swoon of the Season Part 2?
No, it's because I want to make a dress on anvil.
But you're blind!
Well, obviously that's why I'm getting the Looking Glass ladies involved, because I can't make it myself. But yeah, there we go.
Okay. Right, I think my last one would have to be well, it was so in the final battle for the Orcs on the Sunday, Morgor had mentioned at Landsmeet that he needed sergeants to be able to carry his orders through the field. if anyone was interested to come forward. And as a boy, I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I went down on on Sunday, and he was like, oh, whoever wants to do it, come forward. So I went forward, and there was like a few of us who went forward, and it was really nice to be a part of that. You had, someone at the left, someone at the right, one on the centre, and then I took the back. So it was my job to make sure that if anyone went down, I was to do it. If anyone was to get too far back, my voice was going to be at the back to be able to push anything forward of what it needed to be.
Yeah.
So to go to the battlefield with 40 orcs and my voice to be listened to is actually really cool. And I think for me, it's most probably one of my highlights.
Matthew,
What?
did I literally just see you do that?
Maybe.
That was uncouth.
Uncouth. Why is all the cheese gone?
Why is all the cheese gone?
Disgusting. You can have the rest of the cheese.
It's because I'm actually a hobbit and didn't give me any cutlery.
Can you take the plate? Because it's a bit odd now.
Just asked.
No. Anyway.
I didn't just want you to pass a knife across Sammy. Just
Shut up.
there you go.
Anyway, Matthew, your last favourite moment for now.
So this isn't going to be my last because I actually want to talk about some more, and I think it was. I've got enough, and I think you can definitely find another interesting moment.
So we're going to have splits into two-part then?
No, I think we can do this one.
Okay.
So I got a chance to roleplay with Chris, one of our egregores.
Yeah.
And we've both been wanting to try and do a little bit of like personal roleplay together, because that's obviously a lot of the stuff I do is very much reactionary to the plot that PD put out, and it's a lot of like damage control and sorting out problems and helping run the empire.
Okay.
So Chris took some time out of his really busy schedule.
Yep.
And he came to the Imperial offices on Saturday evening, and he brought a new orc with him. So a new orc that had never been to Anvil before. And so a lot of you know that like a lot of the things I make, Fal also makes, because in Fal's backstory he was an artist.
Yeah.
So a lot of like the resin bits I do, like Fal's casts in metal, so like they're real metal in the game.
Okay.
And he brought this new orc along. It was one of the new Iron Tides.
Okay.
And it introduced him to me and said who I was and what I did. And then I got this really nice. It was only like a 5-minute exchange, but I got to give this new orc a little gift.
Yeah.
And told him what it meant to be a hero of Anvil.
Okay.
So obviously, because his orc will have been a legionnaire for as long as he's been alive, and he will have been fighting in all the battles that we've been playing out for the last 6 or 7 years. Like his orc will always have been in the background there, but this is the first time he's come to Anvil.
Yeah.
So I got to give him a little present that made him realise what his responsibilities were as now a new representative for our nation in Anvil.
Yeah.
And what privileges coming to Anvil gives his character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And from what I believe, from what Chris told me afterwards, AD really, really enjoyed it. And I hope he did, because I did.
Yeah.
And I hope it... Because I understand he's never been to LARP before.
Okay.
And I hope it was a really cool little moment that he'll remember in and among just coming to Anvil and enjoying this whole new world and drinking for fake money and fighting against orcs. I hope he'll get to remember this little moment that we had, and it will make him realise that Anvil's a really special place.
So, like, on the Saturday evening, probably about 2,
Yeah.
well, we were all sitting around role playing like nerds because we didn't want to take our faces off because it was cold. Chris was going to bed, and he just popped round to see if we were all right and that we knew it was time out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me about like that, and apparently you like basically blew this guy's mind. I think you're right. That's gonna have like a totally like he's gonna be like, oh my God, people can do this. I can do this.
I hope
really
it becomes. Cool. I hope it becomes like a little empowering moment where he realizes, oh, I'm a part of this really cool group of orgs, and we can do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah. It is your turn. Yes.
Is this like the final one of the allowed moments?
It is.
I've still got 2 more.
I've got so many more.
All right. Well, this is gonna be for part 1.
Okay.
Because obviously we're gonna have to do part 2.
Because these aren't even in like any particular order.
That's all right.
Are you sure? Okay, we'll come back next week then. Is that it, or are we going to come back in a few days?
We're gonna let Andrea do her last one.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do a part 2 to this because you guys seem to have a lot more favourite moments than I thought you would.
I've got so this has been such a good
right.
one. Anyway, right,
Come
okay,
take us home.
My number 3.
Yeah.
Would be so this started right. This actually started at a player event.
Okay.
At Thanmir's feast, which I got invited to because partly because I'm friends with Mike, but also partly I think to annoy someone that I was standing next to at the time.
You got invited because as an influential member of the Imperial Orcs and a close and personal friend of Thanmir,
it was seriously cool. Anyway, I got invited to Thanmir's feast.
Yeah.
And I had a few ciders.
A few bevies. Okay.
And I had heard that there was going to be dancing. And it was kind of getting on in the evening. And I was like, where's all dancing going to happen? Like, I'm thinking, like, Raw's pretty much her only, like, exposure to dancing has been the marches. And she really likes that. That's cool. That's great.
Would she just go from the tapping or something?
No, like the marchers dance at Wassail, right?
Yeah, but how can you see it?
Ra has led the worm at one point. Led it into a few people, but it was great
I'm just
fun.
saying, how can a blind person appreciate dancing?
Because
well, hang on, they still know what movement feels like.
Sammy, I think you're being very ableist.
Am I being ableist? Alright, well, okay, I'll shut up then.
Anyway, so Raw kind of pushed for this and got introduced to Gabriel, right, who's a general in the league.
Yeah.
And he leads Senate Dance Club.
Senate Dance Club.
Which replaced Senate Knife Club.
So it's called Senate Motions.
Yes.
And I believe it happens from after Senate on Saturday?
Yes. It's
so about
11 o'clock to about 12, roughly.
Yeah.
I think it went on a little bit past 12, but it was really fun. Anyway, at Thanmir's feast, I pushed and I was like, we're gonna do this. And they cleared the floor, and we did this dancing. And I can't remember how exactly it happened, but I'd been winding Dave up for a little bit. He put his foot near me, so I undid all the buckles on his shoe and stuff like that.
Is that Iron Dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was expecting me to be a really serious role player, and I was just like, no, mate.
No, I'm just gonna sit there and undo your boots.
I've had 1.5 ciders. I'm lost.
Oh wait, wow. Wait, you must have been gone.
Anyway, no, rude. Anyway, so I pushed for this, and I grabbed a load of people on the way, and basically manhandled them into coming to Senate, into the dancing club.
Yeah.
And me and Dave wound up dancing, and we basically just winding Gabriel up because he's a Legionnaire and I'm blind, and it was never gonna work out.
Oh, he's not just a Legionnaire.
He's a perfect Legionnaire.
He's a second Legionnaire.
He's also a second Legionnaire, yes. So we went to the academy. Chris invited us all to the academy, and about halfway through, he sidled up to me and was like, "Want to go dancing again?" I was like, "Yeah, right." And he was like, cool. And signed it off. And like, it was like a date. Anyway, we kind of didn't really have any more like sort of like close interaction, and I sort of went, I almost forgot.
Okay.
I'd gone to High Guard and I suddenly remembered about 10 to 11. I was like, I need to go to Senate! Anyway, I went to Senate, Jan was there, and so was the entirety of the Orc Nation. There was so many people like packed into the looking area.
Yeah.
The viewing gallery.
The viewing gallery, yeah.
Like, just there to wind us up. It was so much fun.
I'm disappointed I missed that.
They've like Gabriel's teaching us the House Vexil dance.
Oh, okay.
Where like you hold the leader holds a knife to the follower's throat and the follower has one on their back. So I'm like I'm there.
That was okay.
It's so good.
That's
like,
grim.
Like Jan's being really gentle, and like I'm pretty sure I like sliced Jan in the back, like tripping over the step in the middle of Senate.
I didn't realise that was specifically the House Vexil dance.
Yeah, it's the like I can't remember what exactly they called it, like the Vexil tango or something. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we were doing. And it was so much. It was so funny. All the Ironside coming and winding us up.
Sounds like a very, very weird one.
Oh, that was really good.
That's definitely a note we're going to finish on. Right. Well, that's it for part 1, and I guess now we're going to be doing a part 2.
Yeah.
So
I think we've all had a really, really good first event.
Yeah.
There's plenty to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I would very much like to hear about what everyone else's interesting moments were.
Okay.
Because a lot of the bits of the game we play are either just in our nation.
Yeah.
Or just in our like specific field of almost like within our like job description.
Yeah.
So I don't get to see much else of the game other than what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't think you get to see much more than
the pit
and our nation.
Yep.
And I think that's fairly similar for you, Andrea.
Yeah.
So I would very much like to hear what other people got up to and what their favourite moments were.
Okay. So if you want us to read, well,
I was just going to say I'd like to read it in the comments.
Yeah.
So.
If you comment on this video or the part 2 one, then we will do a follow-up and we will read out your favourite moments from Empire E1 this year.
All my days.
All my days, that is.
Or if you had any favourite moments that involved us,
then
we can.
We do. We like hearing about ourselves.
Narcissistic.
We are very, very narcissistic. Let's be honest.
No, but it means then there might be things that you enjoyed doing with us that we can then talk about.
It's true.
That's actually much better.
Yeah. Well, with that said, we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.